guys, it's Dan back for Generation Productions, and I'm going to do a little bit of another rant. We have this whole new Doctor story, and we have a new Master for the new series of Spyfall. Now, I'd rather just let you listen to it a bit. The Doctor turns around and sees that the whole Citadel, which actually it's the first the planet Gallifrey isn't destroyed this time. It's actually just the city and the Citadel of the Time Lords, the actual main city piece, has been destroyed. And yeah, the Doctor's not really a bit shocked and taken back by that everything that she did, he did before he became a she, was all for nothing when they tried to save Gallifrey. But in a way, the planet itself is not destroyed, so that's a good thing. And I'm going to devolve a lot of stuff in this one. First thing, like I said about that, Gallifrey is destroyed, and I want to tell you how I figured this came about. Now, you see, at the end of the one of the Master episodes, we had Missy and one of the other Masters having a fight.
Stand with him. It's where we've always been going, and it's happening now, today. It's time to stand with the Doctor.
As Missy said.
No. Never. Missy! I will never stand with the Doctor!
And then eventually she gets shot in the back, as we all know. But the Master made a interesting statement after he shot Missy, which was,
don't bother trying to regenerate. You got the full blast.
Now, what I take from this is that Missy is almost like a brand new version of the Master, like a different personality. So, like the original Master, which was John Sim, and all the other previous Masters had this sort of, almost evil connotation about wanting to take the Doctor down and, either kill the Doctor or basically get the Doctor out of the way to stop interference, and so they could do evil stuff within the universe. So, sorry about this, people. Sorry about the camera shake. It's just, Anyway, so more or less, like I said, we have this thing where, the Master says, he shot Missy, and he said, more or less, don't bother trying to regenerate because you can't regenerate. You got the full blast of the neutron sound, whatever the sonic device he had shot Missy with. Sonic wrench or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was actually called. But in the concept is that he said that basically don't bother to regenerate. You can't regenerate. You got to cop the full blast of the laser screwdriver. I think it was laser screwdriver. She copped the full blast, which means she wouldn't be able to regenerate. Now, in Doctor Who lore, it actually states that a regeneration cycle can actually be stopped or hindered from forming a regeneration. Sometimes, as we've seen with like I said, with John Sim's Master, he refused to regenerate. So it's also like the will of a Time Lord. They can choose not to regenerate. Or there's the other side, which is, apparently an aspirin could possibly prevent a regeneration. Certain radiation or certain some sort of laser or something like that could actually stop a regeneration. So, in this point, the Master says, basically that regeneration is completely stopped. Missy is not going to be able to regenerate. Now, that being said, I'm thinking, well, that's just bloody stupid. You're the bloody Master, Why in the heck would you kill yourself? Especially when you can regenerate. But what I believe what the Master was saying was this new personality of himself, which is Missy, this new personality of being good, or even just the female version of the Master, like regenerating into another female version, that line has actually been severed. I believe that's what he was saying. Was that when he was saying to Missy, don't bother trying to regenerate because you can't do it. Meaning this whole new personality and the whole new female side of regenerating has been severed. So basically, Missy and any other female Missy/Master will no longer actually occur. There'll be no more female Masters. Well, that's from what I'm guessing. That's what he's saying. Not to say that he'd actually take his own life. He's pretty much more or less saying the female run of the Master is completely gone. There's not going to be any more female Masters. Now, we don't know if that's going to be true or not, because this is Doctor Who. We don't know if Missy may even make a return. We don't even know if there will be another new female Master. Who knows? But for the sake of this plot line of the story, no, this was supposed to be the end of the female Master run. So I'm thinking, and the new Master's personality, where he's no longer an enemy of the Doctor, but a friend of the Doctor. Or maybe even Missy may have even ended up marrying the Doctor. Who knows? Or becoming a companion to the Doctor. Who knows? But for the sake of the whole argument, the whole thing, I believe, what John Sims Master was saying was the whole female regeneration is done from his perspective, because he doesn't like the female regeneration, especially it seemed to be weaker, in the sense of giving into the Doctor and not being like him, or the other previous Master incarnations where the idea of doing something evil was more a thing that needed to be done rather than whatever. But the point being is that's done. Now, then later on in the whole Spyfall episode, the Master eventually sends a message to the Doctor after she steps back, bewildered from seeing the Gallifrey destroyed.
If you're seeing this, you've been to Gallifrey. When I said someone did that, obviously I meant
him. The Master destroyed Gallifrey. Now I'm trying to figure out, well, how in the hell did that happen? One Time Lord versus the maybe 900 Time Lords, or 500 Time Lords, 900 or 1,000 Time Lords, for example. How in the hell does this one guy take out the Citadel and the whole city of the Time Lords? Well, I do have an answer for that. Also, well, first of all, I think he's somewhat lying, because the Master is a liar. Because I'm thinking he hasn't got the power, let alone the balls or the power, to actually take out the Time Lords. Because if he did that, then he would end up getting destroyed as well. We know the Time Lords have infinite power, over the time and space and everything else. But this does lead into the concept of, if the Master did that, how in the hell would he actually done that? Sorry, a little bit of a sidetrack. Sorry, I slipped into a little bit of a sidetrack there, just looking for that video. Okay, I can't really find it right now where he's talking to the thing about the timeless child. Wait a minute, I think I found it. Just give me a second.
you've been to Gallifrey. When I said someone did that, obviously I meant I did.
And then he also, after that little segment, he launched off to the whole thing of saying that what he found was that the whole society of Gallifrey was based on a lie. Well, I want to tell you, Master, you're full of bullshit. There is nothing wrong with the whole society of Time Lords. But anyway, I'll get back into that in a second. So, how would the Master regenerate as well? Let's just say, if the whole Missy thing did take place, where he could not regenerate, then maybe Missy got to a TARDIS or a ship or something and flew back to Gallifrey and used the Eye of Harmony. Yes. In the episode, a Tom Baker episode, which was supposed to be, I reckon it should have been a banned episode, a series run actually, was something to do with the Master taking over the computer of the Citadel and trying to open the Eye of Harmony, which is almost pretty much the same plot as the Doctor Who the movie, where the Master tries to actually open the Eye of Harmony and restore his regenerations. Now, and get a whole new regeneration life cycle. And so that's what I believe the Master actually did here. He actually opened the Eye of Harmony, and that destroyed the destruction of Gallifrey. Also, like as seen in the Tom Baker 4th Doctor episode, where, if he didn't close that Eye of Harmony, it would have destroyed the Citadel of Gallifrey. And that's what you see happens in this episode. The whole Citadel of Gallifrey is destroyed. The city of Gallifrey is destroyed. So, that's what I sort of believe what happened here, is that the Master succeeded in opening the Eye of Harmony and getting a brand new regeneration life cycle. So, I believe that maybe Missy was supposed to be the end of John Sim or Michelle Gomez was supposed to be actually the end of the original Master's regenerations, and now we're coming into the new Master's regenerations with this new guy. So, that's what I believe happened. But now back to this thing. So, either the Master lied and he destroyed Gallifrey because I don't think he would have the manpower, or he opened up the Eye of Harmony and managed to restore his regenerations, like in that other Tom Baker episode, 4th Doctor episode. So, that's probably how Gallifrey was destroyed. But to say that the whole philosophy of the Time Lords and the thing, I call out the Master and I call him out and say he's actually lying. No, the whole society of the Time Lords isn't based on a lie. He's just making that crap up to justify why he destroyed Gallifrey, which is basically only to restore his regenerations. So, overall, I think the Master is lying, and also on the flip side as well, about the Timeless Child. Now, let's get into the Timeless Child. What I believe the Timeless Child is actually two legends that are actually combined into one. And that would be the legend of the hybrid, which was in Peter Capaldi's Doctor's time, the hybrid child. And also we have the Timeless Child. I believe that's the same thing. And we have the Timeless Child. Now, what is the Timeless Child, you may ask? Well, I do believe it was something similar to like a Jesus Christ kind of character for the Time Lords. And what I believe maybe even been Rassilon himself. The Timeless Child was basically either Rassilon or basically the first. The Timeless Child probably was the first Time Lord who engaged in the whole regeneration process, but instead of actually regenerating every time into like an adult or a teenager or a younger or an older adult version, it would keep on regenerating as a child, hence the name the Timeless Child. It kept on regenerating, maybe from like 8, 9, 10 year old and keep a regeneration, an infinite regeneration cycle by constantly staying within that child persona. Hence the name, the Timeless Child. So I believe that the Timeless Child is actually a Time Lord, or one of the first Time Lords who basically had an infinite number of regenerations. And I believe that is where probably the Master thinks the Time Lords are based on a lie, is because is having a limited number of regenerations. Possibly, Time Lords can have an infinite number of regenerations, but the Time Lord Society cut down or caused a few gaps within maybe the genome or the structure of the DNA of Time Lords, so that regenerations can be added to or taken away, or added or taken away from. The regenerations now, the idea of being able to regenerate now can be added or removed or whatever. But what I believe the Timeless Child is a Time Lord, the first Time Lord who was able to regenerate infinitely, and hence, like I said, the Timeless Child. Basically, in other words, a Time Lord who could keep constantly regenerating, but always regenerating as a child instead of being a full adult regenerations. As we had also seen with the Master, who regenerated from being a child. The Doctor regenerated from being a child. We also had Doctor, the Master. We also had River Song also regenerate from being a child as well. So the concept of every Time Lord starts off as a child who basically regenerates into an adult form. Well, that's going to be a little bit messed up, but that's what I believe kind of happens. And maybe that's where the Master says, maybe the whole side of Gallifrey is based on a lie, because basically the Time Lords can infinitely regenerate. They don't have to have 12 or 13 regenerations and that's it. They can possibly constantly keep regenerating. And maybe that's where the lie probably is that the Timeless Child figured out a way to have infinite number of regenerations, and that the whole Time Lord Society saying you can only regenerate 13 or 12 times, from 12 to 13 times, may not be true. The idea of having a brand new life cycle might also be a lie in the respect. There could be a continual regeneration cycle, and they call it a brand new cycle every time because they believe that they're only supposed to regenerate 11 or 12 times. 12 or 13 times, and then that's it. So I believe the Timeless Child is actually the first Time Lord who found out the secret to regeneration and had the ability to regenerate constantly. So that's what I believe the Timeless Child is, and the hybrid are part of that too. Maybe there was even a little bit of Dalek DNA or human DNA or some sort of God gene DNA that was passed, or some sort of other alien DNA that was passed into the Timeless Child that caused him or her to constantly regenerate. But that's just my theory. Leave some comments below about what you think the Timeless Child is, and let's see what your thoughts are, people. What do you think about this whole about the idea of possibly Time Lords having infinite number of regenerations, and that the whole lie being that there is only a limited number of regenerations per Time Lord? But let's see what you have to say, people, and thanks people for watching, and catch us all later. Bye.